Hey guys, what's up? It is Preach as always. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to use the Signal 50 sniper rifle if it stays this slow and we don't have ADS attachments for it, or before you're able to unlock them when the full game comes out on October 28th. But before we jump into that, you guys know what to do. Smash the thumbs up button if you like what you're watching today. Subscribe if you're new here and turn those bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video. So let's go ahead and jump into this, and I'm going to be talking over the gameplay that we're watching here. So one of the things that you have to do is hopefully not play against people like this person who have last stand. That's usually pretty helpful, but obviously that's not something we can do anything about. So what you want to do with this gun is really peek your lines of sight. When you're stepping around a corner, make sure you're ADSing as you step around. You don't want to get all the way around it and then press your ADS button. You want your gun to be coming up as you step around. That way you're already scoped in. And this is really pretty good advice for any gun, but with faster guns like the Mark II and other snipers that we have used in the past and other marksman rifles, you have been able to scope in once you see the enemy. And that is hard to do with this gun. As fast as time to kill seems to come across in this game, you really need to try to scope in before you even see the enemy. So you need to utilize the information that you have available to you. And so I want to go over some of those things that you can utilize. So first things first is obviously the mini-map. If you have a UAV up, you're going to see people who do not have ghosts on the mini-map. So for the beginning of the game, until that ultimate perk becomes available, everybody is going to be on the mini-map for a UAV, and they have no way to hide from it until ghost becomes available for them. So use the mini-map, and you'll be able to see what corners, where people are, things like that. Have a pretty good idea of where they're about to come from or where they're about to go by utilizing your mini-map when you have UAVs. Now, normally we'd be able to utilize the mini-map just to look at where shots were being fired, but for some reason Infinity Ward doesn't want to give us that particular feature, just like the classic mini-map used to be. So in their failures, we have to adapt our gameplay, and the best thing I can tell you to do is, again, if you don't know somebody's going to be around the corner, then pre-aim it, you know. But this corner, I knew that guy was there for two reasons. One, he was a red dot because we have a UAV sweeping. And for two, because I watched my teammate die there. So that is another thing you need to really pay attention to when you're using a slow sniper and you're trying to gather information about where you need to be aiming and where you need to be expecting people to come from, is watch where your teammates die, where your teammates go down. Look at the direction your teammates are firing, and that is really, really helpful. And the other big helpful thing, in my opinion, that helps you really understand where people are on the map, while the spawns in this game mess with this a lot, is to play objective-based modes. So in hardpoint or in domination, people have hot spots on the map where they need to be going to try to win the game. And if you get people who are truly playing the game and aren't playing it like it's team deathmatch, you're going to get people running to those hot spots. Traditionally, that's going to be B flag and domination. This game spawns you so weird that may not be a hot spot, because who knows what flag is being capped on what map at what time. Museum, though, is a perfect example. If you hover around that B flag and watch where your teammates are, you're going to have a really good idea of where other players are coming from, and learn the routes people like to take. Something that helps with that, learn the routes you like to take. If you run through that area often, there's a good chance an enemy is going to run through that area often. So that is something you really need to pay attention to. And I know that you could say, well, Preach, these are tips that apply to any gun, not just using the Signal 50. And that is true. For the most part, Call of Duty plays the same with every gun. You really need to learn where people are going, where people are coming from, learn how to read your minimap, learn how to read how other people play the game, learn the hot spots, learn the angles in the line of sight. Like right there, I've got that cheeky little angle to snipe from that's hard to shoot me there, but easy for me to see through and shoot them when I have a sniper rifle. So you have to learn all these little spots. And the biggest thing with this gun is you really just have to play slower than you would if you were running around with the Kar 98 like we just were in Vanguard, for example. You've really got to play a whole lot slower. Take your time. You can't be sprinting. Your sprint out time in this game is pretty slow with any gun, but it's especially slow with the sniper rifles, and that does make sense. I do wish it was a little bit faster, but you have to prepare for that and be ready to have your gun up. So honestly, for using this sniper, now again, this particular piece of advice does not apply to the Mark II or if we get faster snipers. This is for using the Signal 50 in this slow state. I would suggest not running your auto tactical sprint. Normally, I would say run auto tactical sprint if you're using a red gun, just so that you can get around the map faster. If that's your play style, is to move around and rush, you don't like to camp and hide in the corner like a no thumb Timmy, then I would normally suggest using your auto tac sprint. But with this sniper, I do not suggest it because you do not want to get caught with this gun way up in the air. You do not want to get caught like that because you're never going to scope in on time. You really, really, really need to get your shot off with this gun before the enemy has a chance to start shooting at you. And the reason that that is super important is because this gun has a ridiculously high flinch. When you start getting hit with bullets in this, even if you're using the focus perk, your gun just goes way up into the sky. You're looking through your scope, staring at the clouds as soon as you start getting hit by bullets. So you need to pre-aim, get your shot off first with this gun. For now, those are my pieces of advice using the Signal 50 as it stands right now. Now, the attachments we get could change all this up, but you're also going to be able to need to use it with no attachments before you start leveling it up. So use this advice. It should help us level this gun up and get to snipers that are fun to use. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn the bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video. Preach out.